I am here. I finally made it to Ghana. Permanent stay. Nothing like vacation. Through much not blood, but I would say sweat and tears, we are here. Should I say, watch what you pray for? Yeah, you should always watch what you pray for and make sure that what you pray for is what you really want. Did I want to move to Ghana? Of course I wanted to move to Ghana. I'm building a home in Ghana. This is my stay. Will I travel to other countries in Africa? I definitely want to travel to other countries in Africa. I hear a lot of people say that, Ghana is this, Ghana is that. And that's on the good and the bad side. They say Ghana is the worst country. Ghana has the worst infrastructure. Ghana doesn't have this. Ghana doesn't have this, that. And then on the other hand, you hear people say Ghana's fun. Ghana, you could do this, you could do that, and Ghana is just Ghana's that. Reality is Ghana is both sides. If you are a person that is used to, if you are one of those people that in the States, you like to go to the stores all the time, you like to Walmart, like me, you like to go to the mall, you like to go out and sightsee different parts of your city, you like to have things at your fingertips, things that you like to eat, places you like to go, people you like to visit. Yeah. You may want to pump your brakes until you make yourself used to not all of those things. Can you live without those things? Maybe not the people. Maybe the people. But the stores, yeah, we all can live without the stores, I think the highlight of the stores are just being able to get out and explore the different options versus not having that many options available. Me, myself, in the States, I used to go to Walmart probably 4 times a week. Sometimes it would have been just a get out the house thing and end up spending way too much money. While other times it was, the need of something. Is there a Walmart in Ghana? No. I've heard about a Walmart. Of course, it's called something else. I forgot the name of it. It starts with a C. It's in other parts of Africa, but it's not in Ghana. You have Melcom in Ghana. You have ShopRite. You have China Mall. You have the other different malls. The Achimoto Mall in Accra. You have the Accra Mall. You have other places. Now, I've experienced one Melcom. I know there's others, but I've experienced one Melcom in Accra that has supermarket stuff, like Walmart supermarket stuff. And then also they have the native stuff that is native to Ghana inside of Melcom. But the Melcom that is closest to me in Cape Coast, I think they just built that Melcom and said, hey, we're just going to put it here just to give them a grocery shop and let that be that without the groceries. They didn't check off everything on the list. Everything that's in your bag is on the list. So I did experience that. But in other stores like the Melcom here in Cape Coast, It tend to take a little bit longer with your leaving experience. The Afri Mall, listen, my first time going there, I was pissed. I'm just gonna be real. Real is real. I was pissed, and I was pissed because simply because it is what it is, y'all. Chinese people own it, you know. That's not what made me mad, because I already knew they owned it. But the fact that we had a personal clerk that walked around the store with us, you know, she kind of carried our, well, she got us a card, and she was pushing the card. We did ask her, but she, you know, so I kind of let her do her job. I didn't know. I didn't want her to get in trouble, so I didn't know if that was, you know, something that was supposed to be done or not. But with that said, we checked out. You have a cashier, of course, that checks you out, and you have the option of paying via Momo or cash. I think I had cash on me, but not enough, so I had to Momo the rest of the money. So when I did that, speaking of Momo, hold on, y'all, I forgot we need more cement for the job. So 1 second, let me put you on pause real quick while I send this money for this cement before I get my head chopped off. When I say groceries, I'm talking about the produce section. Of course, Malcolm has a grocery section. They have a small Tupperware section, appliance section, household supply section. This Malcolm is very small compared to the other Malcolm that I have been in. So I think they just kind of like put that there and said, you know, when they put it there, you guys close your mouth. We're just going to put this here and let it be what it is. So when you go in there, of course, this trip is not my first time going to that Malcolm. I already knew about this Malcolm. But when you go in there, it is, it's kind of a, when you turn around, now you turn your body around, everything is in, you know, one area. That's what it seems like to me. Is it a good store? Yeah, you know, they have some things that you would need or, you know, or like to have. Do they have everything? They don't have everything. Would you benefit from having another store or a larger Malcolm? Of course, the benefit is there, especially those of us who are used to going into a store and the store having everything that a person would need in one stop. It's like one stop shop. So Cape Coast can definitely benefit from that. I did see a grocery store, a new grocery store in Cape Coast, I believe. It was on Echo Simpson's channel, YouTube channel. I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember where it's located, but I am going to go and research, find that video on his channel and find that grocery store so I can see what it's about, kind of break up the monotony of things. Other than shopping at Malcolm, they have a place called the Afri Mall. It's fairly new in the Cape Coast area. I believe it is located off of the Accra Takoradi Road, just before you enter Petty Junction. It has a lot of household items. It has furniture in there, it has bedding in there, it has household accessories in there. They do not have everything, again, and I think they don't have everything because they're fairly new, but when you go in there, you can tell that they're trying to stock their store. But yeah, that's the highlight. Other than that, if there's something that you can't find inside of the stores, there's always street vendors that have what you may need, what you're looking for. Are you going to get that Walmart, that Target, whatever your Publix, whatever your grocery store is, or whatever your favorite store is? Are you going to get that experience? You won't. So don't come here looking for, unless you go inside the ShopRites, the bigger Malcolms, the malls, that's when you will experience it. Don't come to Ghana thinking that you are going to look up on the American way, because you're not. And even if you did, let's just say there is a store that has everything in there that you would need, that you would experience in a U.S. store. Your experience there, your checkout experience is not going to be the same. If you've never shopped in a Ghana store or a Ghanaian store, or whatever kind of store you want to call it, then you will be shocked to know that once my items are scanned, once I have paid for my items, I have to stop at the door. Now, this is not all the stores, because I did experience at I think the Malcolm in Accra. I did experience where they didn't check our receipt. They just looked at it and they didn't go down the line checking off each item on the receipt. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was supposed to do that about 20 minutes ago and I totally forgot. I forgot once my brain said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix my phone. Once my brain said, okay, you can record. All right. So, with that, we began to check out, and checking out, the cashier rung us up. I'm sorry, I had to get my thoughts back. The cashier rung us up, and they had to call over one of the owners, I suppose. And he came over, and because it was our first time, we were kind of excited. There was a lot of stuff that we saw that we needed for the rental house that we're renting while our house has been completed. So we bought quite a few things. I want to say at least maybe 10, 15 items. So the guy came over, and as the young lady was putting the stuff in the bag, he said, wait. And he was checking everything off. I get it. Okay, you have to protect your investment. I get it. But my problem is, and my question to my husband was, at what point do you trust your workers? There should be some that you're able to trust. And you have a desk sitting right across from them. So you're able to see every item that's being rung up. Okay. But yet and still, you have to come and you have to check off everything. And this young lady thought that he saw every item. That's why she wasn't putting them in there in bulk in the bag. She was putting one by one in the bag, and she thought that he saw it. And that's why she did what she did. And the cashier, she kind of got upset, and she snatched one of the empty bags up under his hand, because it's like, you just saw us, so why are you doing this? So that was an experience. That kind of rubbed me wrong, and kind of rubbed the workers wrong, as well. But I mean, it's not really much that they can say, because if that's their employer, then it is what it is. I just kind of hate that for them. Then you have another thing where, there's another store we went to. We rode all the way to Takoradi to ShopRite. All right. In ShopRite, you have, I'm sorry, y'all. I just kind of got blown away just now, because one of the workers came down, and I don't know whether he knows I'm in the car or or if this is, I mean, I know that it's a part of what they do. Some of the guys, they use the restroom in public. They pee in public. But he kind of came down and went to the left of me over there by the trees, but still visible. And I already knew what he was going to do, so I kind of didn't look at him after that. But I was just kind of blown just now. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So we rode to Takoradi. and we went to the Takoradi Mall. Last time we were here, there were hardly any stores in the Takoradi Mall. I don't even think ShopRite was there. I think there was like 4 stores, maybe 2 on one end of the mall and 2 on the other end of the mall. This time we were surprised because it was full. It was full of stores, okay? This particular day we went, it was Ramadan holiday. So the kids were out of school, everybody who honors that holiday were basically honoring it. There was a ton of people in ShopRite. There were kids, whether they were Muslim or not, they were in ShopRite. They were not working. They were filming each other, taking pictures of each other. They were just having fun. That experience, now ShopRite did have a lot of stuff, which I think every ShopRite I've been to over here, are fully equipped with stuff. But that experience was a little bit not too easy because, I know that kids would like to be kids, but not only with us, but other adults that were in there, they were kind of in their way because they were taking pictures. They weren't really buying anything. They were just in there, and when you turn around, you kind of lose your elbow room. Somewhat like being in the market. My grandson just ran by, but you kind of lose your elbow room because you're trying to move around to get the stuff that you need, but they don't understand that because that's kind of a hangout spot for them, which I understand. It's just we weren't too prepared for that on that day. But the trip was okay. We still waiting on our container. So with that being said, I was about to say retainer because I'm realizing that actually every morning I wake up I realize that I lost my retainer, and yep, so my teeth is starting to shift back, and once my container gets here, I'll be able to go to Accra and take advantage of this dentist office that I have been recommended to. So yeah, that experience was something. While we're waiting on our container, we did take advantage of purchasing a washing machine because although growing up I have had the privilege of washing some things out of my hand, we have way too many people and way too many clothes for me to do that. So while we're waiting on our container to come, we purchased a washing machine, and I just hang the clothes out on the line for them to dry. And surprisingly, the clothes are dry within at least 30 minutes if they're not really thick pieces. The sun is just a blessing over here. The sun and the breeze is just everything. But yeah, so from where we're living at temporarily, and then looks like where we're gonna be living at permanently, there's not many stores in the area that holds what's needed. So when you think about Ghana, always think about opportunity, peace, relaxation, and if you are business minded, there's nothing for you to come to Ghana and see a need and create it. I mean, it's not about trying to recreate the wheel, but it is trying to find where you fit in the wheel and make it work for you. Surprisingly, we brought the last 3 of our children with us, and we were more surprised at their perception and reception of Ghana than I think they were. We thought there was going to be murmuring and complaining and crying and wanting to go back home and anxiety attacks. No, they actually love Ghana. When we touched down in Accra, they gave their input, their insight, and it was surprising. They're gonna do a video as well. They did a video a while back of what they were anticipating to see and to do in Ghana. So we're gonna make sure they get back on and do another video to let you guys know from their mouths what they think. But yeah, that's it. The highlight of our day right now is being here at the house, making sure the work is getting done. We are at roof level. We are pouring the gutters for the roof. Next thing, we'll be putting up the boards for the roof, and then we'll be going on the inside of the house. So we'll be showing you guys little clips by, through the process. We also just put in a road that we're still working on behind the house to be able to get to the house instead of riding on the coastal lines to get to the house. So that's another thing. But yeah, so the highlight of our day is coming to the house, going to the different markets, mainly finding our foods at the markets, versus going inside the stores, because we find that the markets have what we need, versus the store. Now, when we find that new grocery store, they may change. If they have produce, then, we will like to shop there as well for produce. But yeah, so that's that. The closest store to us, for as we know, if you know any more stores in our area, in the Cape Coast area, Cape Coast, Iron Sulu, Petty Junction, Mapimsum, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Anywhere, chime in. Let me know where those stores are located. We would love to go by, take advantage of those stores, and see if they have anything that we like. But for now, I am going to sign off. I've talked to you guys long, and yeah, just know that Ghana is something to get used to. Do I regret my move? I don't regret my move, because I'm able to sleep. I'm able to get peace, and that's what I like. Do I wish I had, and just being transparent, do I wish I had more things at my fingertips that I'm used to in the U.S.? Of course. When you've grown up in a whole nother, as my children will call it, world, or my grandchildren will call it, world. As you've grown up in a whole nother world, and you come to another one, and you don't have those things, what you thought of was necessity. Some of them were, some of them were just wants. Ghana will surely teach you what was really a want versus a necessity. Then you tend to miss those things. So I wouldn't lie to you and tell you that I don't miss those things. I do miss those things. But you make do with what you have. When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. And I don't think life has thrown me lemons. I just think that I just need to just make lemonade anyway. So until we talk next time, thank you guys so much for chiming in to Akabulan First of Generations. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We're in this all together. If there are any Ghanaian women or any African American women that are in the area that would like to hook up with me, hang out, let me know. I'm available. I have some friends in the area, but there's nothing like having a group. But until we talk next time, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.